Dear Diary, piece of advice. If you're kind of either borderline adult onset diabetes or you're well into it, and your housemate makes a big pot of chicken fettuccine alfredo, even if he doesn't use alfredo noodles or fettuccine noodles, even if he uses, penne pasta, whatever, makes a big pot of it like that and says, eat as much as you like. Don't. Well, eat as much as you like, but make sure that you don't have like what is basically the equivalent of 3 heaping bowls full of it. Because you will be sitting at your desk, minding your own business, watching, some video on the internet, trying not to yawn, and the next thing you know, you will blink, and you will be having a very hard time getting your head up, and you will realize that it's been almost an hour since the last time you saw anything, because you ate a whole bunch of pasta and it knocked you the hell out. So, to boil that down to a simpler thing, if you are either borderline diabetic or fully into it and you eat a shit ton of carbs, be prepared for the likelihood that you will either need to get up and to go walk around for a while, or just go take a nap, because it's going to happen if you just sit down and try to do something. See, still. Now, granted, I'm usually yawning like this at like 11:30, which is almost what it is. But it's worse right now because I'm so carbo overloaded right now. I'm just like, hey, it's okay. It's like Thanksgiving dinner. It's just, it's absolutely, as my friend Matt Holmes, who up until recently worked at OX 105 in Oxford, England, as he would say, it's mental. And you will forget to do the simplest things like stay awake. But aside from just staying awake, you will forget to do things like turn on your iPad when you're about to record your daily vlog, because and as it happens, I only have 2 things written down here. I feel like there was this is why sometimes I think maybe I should edit this thing, but no, I can't be bothered. Anyway, I feel like I was going to write down a third thing, but I can't remember what it was. Oh, I wasn't actually going to. I remember looking at it now and seeing the first thing on the list, which is actually going to be like a 15-minute thing in and of itself, and I'm already 5 minutes into it. Well, 4.25 minutes into this. So, first things first, okay? So, Matt, if you're watching this, which I doubt, very sorry to hear that that OX 105 closed. The station closed. So, if you find yourself in Oxford and you really need a DJ, I'm sure that Mr. Holmes would love to help you out. Maybe. He was the morning guy over there, by the way. He's part of the morning crew. So, today, I was sitting here and I was, looking through my emails and whatnot, and I got an email from NG4 TV on YouTube, which is one of the networks on YouTube saying, hey, welcome to the network. I'm like, wait, I didn't apply to join NG4 TV. I applied to join RPM. What's going on? Well, apparently NG4 TV and RPM are both part of Maker, which is kind of their parent thing. So I guess in joining RPM, I sort of also kind of joined NG4 TV. So I have no idea how big the acronym of networks is going to be by the time. For all I know, there's probably like 7 other networks that I have now sort of joined, and it's going to be like, you know, METHODOFLOVE kind of method of modern life. Somebody somewhere probably uses METHODOFLOVE and 867530999 as part of their password. I just know it somewhere. Somebody does. Anyway, so I apparently I joined that network too. I know it seems like I should be more excited, and I am excited. I actually am. It just sometimes it confuses me. I am a simple man. I have a simple brain. Complicated things sometimes slip past me, which is a bit ironic because earlier today I was talking to Matt Holmes, the DJ that I was talking about, who worked at OX 105. And part of the thing that we were talking about over Twitter was the fact that you know, American television is just dumb, and they dumb things down because they don't. Most like American producers of entertainment, it seems, do not trust their audience to get things, to get it. It's like they don't believe that we are either smart enough or paying enough attention that we will get subtle comedy. We have to have laugh tracks, and we have to have, you know, jump scares. We have to have, you know, unnecessarily involved exposition to explain exactly what's going on, because we won't get it otherwise. Because it's too subtle, or it's too complex, or it's too whatever. Problem is, that's kind of a vicious circle. The less you make us think about things, the less we will think about things, and the less we're engaged, the less we're going to, or maybe that's their plan. Anyway, a really good example of it is if you go and you watch you may have seen Ju-on, which is the original Japanese version of The Grudge with Sarah Michelle Gellar. You go and you watch Ju-on, the original Japanese version. There is some seriously creepy shit in there, and it's very, very subtle. Some of it is so subtle that an American audience would just miss it because it didn't have the, you know, dun-dun thing, you know, the music strike to make people go, oh wait, what, something happened, what did I miss, you know, or they don't have whatever the cues that they need to realize, oh, I should pay attention because something is going on here, because, you know, we get 5 minutes into a movie that people do a lot of talking in, and suddenly we're trying to text on our phone or something. I don't know. I just hate reality TV and a lot of, anyway, let's move on, shall we? Because we are now almost 9.5 minutes into this, and I still haven't got to the part of it that's going to take the longest to tell. And I mentioned last night that we usually go camping on the backside of Yosemite, and we have a lot of fun out there. One time, it may have been the first time that I ever went out there with the whole group camping. We have one of the guys that goes with us is a bartender, and he's got a lot of booze, and we have what is called the rolling bar, and it's basically his pickup truck. And what he does is he pulls his truck and he backs his truck over to where, you know, we've got the campfire, everything, over where we got the kitchen set up. lays down the bed of the pickup, and then proceeds to set up bar. And he's just got bottles and bottles and bottles, sorry, of booze. And you walk up and you're like, I'll have an AMF, please. And there you go, there's an AMF. And he will make, whatever you want. It's like, can I get a Long Island iced tea? Yep, no problem. And he'll make one for you. And the great thing about it is it's kind of open bar. You sort of pay for it at the beginning. Everybody gets over there, getting ready to leave to go to the campsite, and you just walk over to Ray and you say, here's $100, because I know I'm going to be tanking it up this weekend, so here's $100 to help cover the cost of the alcohol, because I'm sure I'm going to drink $100 worth at least. No problem. And so that helps him restock the bar and everything's fine. Anyway, so he had set up the bar, and I'd had a couple of pretty good drinks. I mean, I wasn't drunk, but I've got, a downright Scottish resistance to alcohol. Not quite a German resistance to alcohol, but close. Close. Most of my family lineage is English. So, meh. Anyway, I will have some tea, because also I'm about to yawn again. That seems an easy way to disguise it, except for the fact that I told you. So, the bar is open. I've had a couple of really good drinks. And we're just standing there enjoying the very crisp night air. It's June, but I mean, we're about 8,000 feet up, so it gets a little cold up there at night, even in summer. And from off in the woods, we hear, it's like, and I kind of look at my friend Palmer, I'm like, was that he's like, no. I was like, are you sure? Because that really sounded, he's like, no. And then maybe 3 seconds later, again. Next thing I know, the hammer's coming back on a pistol. Palmer's got his dog on the leash, got him short leash so he doesn't run off. He's got a big ass knife in his hand, and everybody's kind of backing towards the fire. And I'm like, I just grab his stick off the ground. I'm like, it's like, okay, so our bartender has a pistol, you have a knife, and I have a stick. Okay. And we hear another shorter, smaller, it's like, excuse me. And I walk off into the dark, and Palmer's like, what are you doing? So I go wandering off into the darkness, and I've got my stick. I'm fine, And so as I'm walking, there's enough light up there, starlight and whatnot, that I can see the road. So I'm kind of walking along the road, and I know there's another camp near us that's just a little bit up the road. I get over there, and I can see it's like 2 Winnebagos parked next to, relative to you guys. They're like, one's parked this way. And so I'm walking up between them, and there's a fire right there. And so I walk up, and I'm like, hello, is everybody in camp? And they're like, hi, we're over here. And so they're sitting next to the fire, and there's this older couple sitting there, and they're like, hi, welcome to camp, come on in. I'm like, yeah, hi. So did you guys just hear something that sounded a whole lot like a bear? And they're like, oh, that's our grandkids. They made a bear call, and they were playing with it. I'm like, they made a what? And they're like, oh, they made a bear call. I'm like, you guys do understand that there are bears up here, right? And the primary function of a bear call is to call bears. Maybe not the smartest. And so the kids come over, and they bring this thing over to me, and they show me what it is and how it works. And it's basically just a big coffee can. Just it was a big standard, like just big, coffee tins that has had the top and the bottom cut off of it, the metal part of the can. It would be like with a soup can, cutting both ends off. You cut it open, and then you put the plastic lid on the bottom, and you cut sort of an X in a thing, and you just put a piece of rope through it. And so the spiral of the rope, when it goes through the crust thing, it makes it, and it through the just, it sounds really awesome. It makes a great bear call. The problem is it makes a great bear call. And so I call out into the darkness, I'm like, everything's fine. Back over to my friends so they don't start coming over trying to shoot people. Because the kids show me real quick how it works. They just pull the rope through the thing. I was like, that's really amazing. Might not want to do that anymore. But it's very cool. So I'm kind of chat for a few seconds more, and then I say goodnight, and I walk back over to the camp and explain to my friends what the situation is, and Palmer just kind of screamed obscenities into the dark. You know, he did not say what the hell is wrong with you people. The expletive was one that I try not to say very often on this show. Yeah, so that was one of the first nights I was up there, and it's a common tale that tends to get told around the campfire every year we go up there. So, campfire stories. I might throw a few more of those at you guys as time goes by. 16 and a half minutes. Not bad. Not bad. I usually take a little longer to tell that story. But for tonight, I'm going to let you guys go, and I'm going to... What am I going to do? I'm going to continue kind of digging through the forums at Roberts Space Industries, because I had a moment of extreme creativity earlier today. Somebody had put in honestly a horribly constructed post about organic ships, which is very cool, but I think they meant to say that you can breed, but they spelled it bread. And so, yeah, there are just a lot of misspellings in the post. A lot of misspellings. Sentence structure was missing a lot of punctuation, to the point that there were parts of the post that I was having trouble parsing. I couldn't figure out what this person was trying to say, because they were all English words and they seemed like they should be in the right order, but because there was a few commas or semicolons or periods missing, I couldn't tell where the sentence began and where it ended and where it paused. And eventually I kind of sorted it out, and it kind of got the juices bubbling for what a spacefaring life form would be. I mean, not like people in a capsule. I mean, a life form that lives in space. Sort of like, I guess, the comparison that a lot of people made in the forums was to Moya, the Leviathan in Farscape. Oh, it's fantastic. I love Moya. Oh, Moya, how I love thee. Not as much as I love Pilot. That is a sexy, sexy creature. God. Anyway, so yeah, lots of, maybe someday when I haven't been talking for 20 minutes on Campfire Stories and Diabetic Comas, I will tell you guys about the forum post that I put in about a relatively, as far as I know, new alien species who became ships, or were made to be ships, and then the alien race that made them died out, and so they went feral, like horses going feral when they get off the farm. Anyway, some other time I'll tell you guys that little thing. Until then, hope you guys have a great Wednesday. No, today was Wednesday. Hope you guys have a great Thursday, and whatever day it is that you're watching this in the year 2015. By the way, go ahead and tell me, how was the Hobbit? Was that good? Was that nice? And no, wait, no spoilers. Don't tell me. Just tell me that Smaug has 6 limbs, that he has hind legs, 4 legs, and wings, that he's much more of an English style dragon and not like a wyvern kind of, because I think it's wyverns. I never imagined Smaug, or excuse me, Smaug, as a wyvern style. No, he should have 4 limbs and wings. But you get to hear, Benedict Dragonpatch as. Anyway, I'm gonna let you guys go before I get off. Before I get off on a different tangent. So until next time, be careless.